first start importing New Zealand venison into Australia?
So, the interest for me in terms of New Zealand venison actually came from chefs who, 12, 15 years ago, we had a huge influx in Australia of sort of European chefs or chefs from other parts of the world that obviously had used venison or New Zealand venison in restaurants abroad, and they approached me and they said, look, we'd like to use New Zealand venison. We contacted our supplier of all of our game products, and they were importing New Zealand venison. At that stage, it was Mare Venison that was supplying the product, and spoke to them about the product, and then started importing it on a chilled basis ourselves. Very small quantities at that stage back then, but then just started to build the product and promote the unique nature of venison and particularly New Zealand venison, and the rest is history. As I say, we're now sort of the biggest importer of New Zealand venison in the Southern Hemisphere, and it's a product that's very, very important to our business. Without question, what we do sort of really highlight and bring to the fore is this incredible, pristine, perfect sort of growing environment that New Zealand is renowned for. So the clean air, the pristine sort of clear water, the lush pastures, the cool climate, the perfect almost growing conditions for a product like New Zealand venison. And then the other thing is definitely the sort of nutritional benefits of venison, being a lean meat, being something that's very high in iron and very healthy for you.
When traditionally Savannah hasn't been sold in Europe, but that's changing. What's the rationale?
We've seen a narrowing gap between New Zealand and competing venison. We've seen increased supply of volume from Spain and Poland, and we've also seen within our own business an opportunity to differentiate high quality parts of the product. So we're doing it in beef, we think quite like to do it in venison. So if we're looking for an added value range of venison, we already have an investment in Savannah. Why not take that investment and apply it into a selected group and a high criteria of product and take that range into selected European markets.
Whatever your interest be in hunting the Alaskan rainforest, ranching in Montana, surviving the harsh winters of Mongolia, or just being comfortable outdoors, there's a swarthy garment in here for you. Plan for the worst, give it your best. We have it. Catch you in the bush sometime.
I'd be more looking at the farmers to actually reform themselves. Now, neither of these companies can have a great marketing strategy if they do not know where their product's coming from. Volunteer, they know exactly what's coming in their gate every day of the week for the next 12 months, so they can do a marketing program. So I think there's something that farmers need to look at.
The companies are pretty much saying the same thing. It's a very complex issue. We will have different ownership structures. It's not going to be easy. Nobody has the funds to buy the other companies out or are willing to reinvest, and the banks probably don't have an appetite for getting involved in that. Everybody's aware of the issues. I think the root of the problems in the companies, that our bad behaviours probably stem from bad behaviours from some groups of farmers. Things need to change from both sides. It's certainly not going to be easy. There could be $200 or $300 million that sits between the farm gate and the processor that falls in the hands of third-party activity. There's nothing else in the value chain that can get anywhere near like that in terms of an easy win and actually a function that doesn't need replacing. So I think you just need to think about that as well.
Loss will come off dairy in about 5 years. As soon as the big boys start focusing on export with 98% of the volumes, what do you think is going to happen? And so suddenly Fonterra's position is just going to erode like that. So we need the red meat industries to work as an alternative land use to simply putting all our eggs in one basket. We have specialist products the rest of the world won't go to scaling, that we can still dominate global exports and global trading, which we will not be able to do in dairying when America and Europe decide they want to export them.
While there's universal agreement that there should probably be a better model that could be put in place, there is some work being done on that now. It is sensitive though because of the commercial aspects. It'll take more than aggregation. It requires behaviour change throughout the sector, throughout the whole of the sector.
Going having conversations, you've got process having conversations over here. The sooner those two conversations happen in the same place at the same time, the better it'll be.
To me, if you just suddenly chucked everybody into one box, that wouldn't necessarily solve the problem. But and you're noticing the dairy industry fragment itself at the moment because you have got a 90% player who's probably up at 80, but that doesn't mean to say that we can't drive a lot better outcomes through some consolidation and taking out processing capacity?
Well, it's about two things. Firstly, on the market side of things, it's a shared commitment from both marketers and producers to improving the profitability of our industry, because that's one thing we just know. Our profit is not what it could be. There are some things that we can do to improve it, and it comes from two sources. One is the market, and the other is how we produce. So the marketers have stepped up with a comprehensive program to raise the buyers' willingness to pay, and they're looking at programs such as potentially launching Savannah in Europe, but on the other side, as producers, could be doing better than what we are, and so we've had, as you say, the productivity improvement program, doing some work over a number of years now, and this is actually the teeth of it, rolling it out and getting something going. Well, firstly, the reason why we're doing them, there are some things that we've done pretty well over time. So research development, has been good. We know we've got good farmers, a good farming base. We know the markets are doing well. But one thing we haven't done well enough as an industry is actually support our guys in their own efforts to make change on their farms. So the idea of advance parties is to support farmers who are motivated to change. And so the way that we're going to do that is we're going to encourage groups of, say, up to 12 farmers who want to come together and want to make changes for profit on their farm. They're going to measure, start, do the work, and then measure the changes. But then, really importantly, what's going to happen is that these groups, in exchange for the industry support which they're getting, are then going to spin it out to the local community. So the local communities understand what's going on and can make changes on their own farms or start their own groups. So it's a way of really empowering producers to make change, which is important and relevant to them.
We've always tried to be accessible and not be glass tower at all, and I'm really proud that the guys always do that. I like the way they work. We have a good rapport most of the time, and I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to work with you guys. Any executive that went about setting strategy without using this board as a resource would be an absolute mug, because it's a powerhouse of knowledge and expertise that we're very lucky to have. It's been well chosen by the people that do that, and it's been a real resource for me. So it's obviously I'm accountable to them, and they have to run the ruler over everything, but at the same time, it's been a really good resource for me. So I thank you for your guidance and your mentorship over time. And I wish the industry nothing but the best. So thank you, everyone.